So right in front of me is the music house, this one right here. It was built when I first came to Helsinki. Right here, this little area, used to be a building, like a really, really old historical building, and they ended up demolishing it, even though at one point there was a big protest about it, and there was a bunch of squatters there for years and years because they didn't want it to be demolished. But in the end it was. And now this whole area is a huge, lovely market square with a playground right underneath. And right now I am on top of Oodi, the big, huge, fantastically designed library in the center of Helsinki. This place is a librarian's dream. You can rent power tools, books, everything, board games. You can 3D print things and rent giant printers, as well as sewing machines, and they have gaming rooms and all sorts of things. It's absolutely ridiculous. And on top of it, it's gorgeous. This is the second floor. 3D printers, sewing machines. Gaming PCs. Massive printer. They also have a kitchen here, a teaching kitchen. These are the little meeting rooms that you can get. Everything is free. All you need is your library card. This is the kitchen. It's crazy. I love it. We used to come here all the time for meetings. It makes it very easy. And of course, all the signs are in Finnish, Swedish, and English. Because Finnish and Swedish are the national languages, but English is one of the most popular working languages. This is the stairwell. There's words inscribed all the way along it. I don't exactly remember what they are for, but the LLE at the end means that it's for the thing that it is. I think all of these things might be representing things for the library, or the reasons why the library was built. This is Geneva, your Helsinki correspondent. We're on the ground floor of Oodi. They have a cafe, they have a performance space, they have a movie theater. There's also a cafe on the top floor. They also here have little library robots which deliver books. And out here is the market area, which they do things. In a couple weeks I'm actually gonna do an art fair out there. This is right outside Oodi. This is the magnificent building that we were just in. Musiikkitalo. I think that might be a parliament building. Right now, this is a museum, but it's completely covered. It's called Kiasma. And this is Sanomatalo. The local newspaper lives there. This thing is really cool. It's called Bana. It's a bike lane that actually like goes all the way through the city. And there's a counter at one point where it counts how many bikes go by. It's very, very, very popular. We're not as popular as Amsterdam in terms of bikes, but there's still quite a few. This is Elielin Aukio bus station, and just beyond it, this building right here is the train station, Rautatientori. So this building is actually, its real name is called City Center, but everybody else calls it Makkaratalo, which means sausage house, because of this thing here, which makes the building look very ugly. But I think everyone calls it that rather fondly. I think it was built in maybe the 70s or something like that. This is the front of the Rautatiasema, the train station. And as you can see, these guys are wearing some football gear. It's because they were celebrating the Women's Football Cup. They always end up painting them or giving them clothing depending on whatever the occasion is in the country. This is Stockman. It is the equivalent of, say, Nordstrom. I believe it's a Swedish brand, but they were established here quite some time ago. And this particular area with the clock turning, that's a very traditional place to meet up when you are out with your friends. This is the statue of the Three Smiths. During Christmas time, they get Christmas hats. This is Aleksanterin Katu, where a lot of name brands and really nice cafes like La Torrefazione, very Finnish, no, reside. And at the very end is a very cool place. I'll show you when I get there. I walked all the way down this street, Aleksanterin Katu, which runs parallel to Esplanadi. I'm gonna go this way. And just around the corner, very popular tourist spot. It's called Senatin Tori, because straight ahead, that is the Senator's building, so it's Senate Square, but this is the church. As you can see, it's a very popular place to sit and eat. During Christmas time, this entire square is filled with little huts selling Christmas market wares. And a couple times during summer, they filled it also with more huts, doing selling lots of drinks and food and other things, mainly because of COVID. Straight ahead is the oldest building in Helsinki. It was built in 1757. Here's the Finnish Market Square, the big one, with the Finnish equivalent of the eye in the background. And here she is, The poor statue that for every big event always gets desecrated in some way. During Vapu, this entire area is completely filled. There's a giant crane right next to her, so they can gently put a hat on top of her head, a graduation hat, so it won't hurt her. Otherwise, people would just climb on her and slap it on. And here is this restaurant, Koppeli, like in the video. And we are currently on Esplanade. Well, the park next to Esplanade. There's actually many parks in Helsinki, one of which is called the Plague Park because of the amount of plague victims that were buried there, and now it has huge amounts of tombstones everywhere. But these days it's used as a picnic park. And there's also loads of tori areas, as in market areas. It's a very common thing here. But this is still Esplanade. There's a movie theater down there, which is a super comfortable, luxurious movie theater with huge chairs, big comfy chairs, and you can get alcohol and food and eat it while watching the movie in essentially large, gorgeous armchairs. This is the Marimekko store. They're everywhere, and it's a brand that you might actually be familiar with because it's rather famous, but it's Finnish, and their style is very noticeable. You can always tell if it's Marimekko or not. Their trademark is these large flowers, large prints, large bold things. This is Athenium, right across from Rautatientori and the marketplace. It's a museum, but unlike Kiasma, which is a contemporary art museum, this one is more old school. This is inside Rautatientori. We're gonna go to the trains, and I'm gonna get a train home back to Pukinmäki.
To the airport. We will stop at all stations. Have a pleasant journey. perille.